At what point, maybe as a young guy, did you think that, hey, I'm pretty good at the game of hockey?
I don't know. I never really thought about it like that. I think it was always, something ever since I was 4 years old, it was something I loved, and that's all that I really focused on was, getting to be out there and, enjoying it, and obviously making kind of, all my friends. So, I haven't really thought about it, in that way.
Do you think sometimes that maybe you're better off, like not thinking about it at all and just kind of focusing, on the task at hand?
I think so, yeah. I think it's easy to, get carried away with, today all the social media and everything. So, for me, I kind of just, want to focus on, the everyday and, be grateful that, I get to, play in the WHL every day and do stuff like this. So, it's pretty cool, and, just kind of focus on that stuff and try not to think about, anything too far in the future.
And Bedard holds the line. Bedard back with it. Slides it again. Bedard clocks right in. Time winner sends Canada to the semis.
Of all the goals you scored, 100 in the WHL, 100 plus in the WHL, and internationally 30. Do you have a favorite?
Probably the Brandon one when my grandfather passed away. It was pretty special game.
Evans back to Bedard in the slot. Snap shot, scores! Connor Bedard in his final game of the season wins it in overtime.
My parents were going to fly me home just to be with them and whatnot, but I wanted to stay and play one more. I have that game. Brandon was the best team in the league too, so to be able to beat them in that fashion, obviously score the OT winner for me was pretty surreal, and that was pretty special for myself and my family.
Played a big role in your career, a good supporter. How much do you think about him?
Yeah, I mean a lot. I think he was probably the one in the family that would brag a little too much about me. I feel like my grandma would always tell stories of him, like showing people my brick stats at the bar or something like that. Just people that don't care at all. So he loved it. He was so into it, and obviously he was one of the most positive and hardworking people I knew. So obviously I still think about him a lot, but he's watching, and kind of hope I can make him proud, obviously.
Bedard winds in. Connor Bedard feeds it back across. Right, scores. Bedard with a setup, right with a finish, and it's 3-0 Canada.
At the World Juniors, I thought a part of your game that came out that maybe I wasn't quite aware of, and maybe that's always been part of your game, but your playmaking I thought was just sensational. The ability to hold the puck, delay, change the pace a little bit. Is that an element in your game that you think has developed, that you've worked on, or was that always present in your game?
I think it was always kind of something there. I mean, I think people, see me as more of a shoot first guy, but, in my view, I'm kind of, I try to make the right hockey play, and whether that's a pass or a shot, and I feel like, like you said in World Juniors, I feel like they were taking my shot away a lot. So, the right play a lot of the time was to pass. So, I think just depends what the defense is giving you, and obviously kind of how the game's going. But I feel like I just try to make the right hockey play.
Canada's won back-to-back World Junior gold medals.
When you look at all of the things you've done, do you ever just take a moment to stop and say, hey, this is pretty cool what's going on here, and you ever take time to do that, to reflect?
I don't know. I mean, I think my life's pretty busy right now, and I'm so focused on what we're doing in Regina, obviously, and for when we were at World Juniors, winning the gold there and stuff. So it's tough, but I think when you, especially World Juniors, after we won, it's kind of like we were all hanging out in the room and looking at our medals and stuff, and I think that's pretty damn crazy. So I think about moments like that, you kind of realize there's some cool things, but for me, I try to look at it as there's so much more work to be done.
We're here for one reason, and that's the draft. It's that close, right? Like, stuff is that close to happening. How much do you pay attention to any of that stuff and see what's going on?
Yeah, it doesn't feel real though. I think the NHL is still just that thing that's obviously the best of the best, and it feels like you're still a fan of it, and obviously there's still a lot of work to do, and I hope to be there one day, but we'll see. Time will tell.